What are metrics? Metrics help ensure that customer expectations for accurate and timely transcripts and captions are being met. Let's take a look at them. For a quick overview, you can go to your workspace and click on Dashboard, then look towards the bottom of the page. For a more in-depth look, click Go to Metrics page. Before we talk about rolling metrics, let's cover your main metrics concerning the content of customer files. For transcription, accuracy and formatting are your only two metrics, and you receive grades for each of them separately when you do get graded. Accuracy covers correctly hearing and typing what words are said and who said them. Formatting covers how our guidelines are applied, such as paragraph breaking and labeling speakers correctly. If you're in captioning, in addition to accuracy and formatting, you have a third metric called alignment. This covers correctly aligning caption groups to spoken dialogue. We talk about grading in depth in another video, which you can find in the description, but for the basics, when you receive a grade, you're graded on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being very poor and 5 being excellent. When you're a rookie, all your projects are graded. Once you graduate to Rever and beyond, your projects will be graded at random intervals. Let's focus on just the accuracy metric for now. Let's say you're just starting out and you have 3 graded projects, a 4, 5, and 5. We'll add that together to get 14, then divide that by the number of projects you've had graded, which is 3. That comes out to 4.67. Great job! That means you're above the minimum requirements. Let's say the next project you're graded on is a 3 in accuracy. We'll add the top row again to get 17, divided by the number of graded projects you have now, which is 4. 17 divided by 4 is 4.25. Uh-oh. Now you're below minimum requirements, but don't worry, you'll have a chance to improve your metrics. We were talking about a maximum of 30 grades being considered for your metrics, so what do we mean? It means that once you receive your 31st grade, your oldest grade rolls off and is no longer factored into your metrics, and that cycle continues. Your oldest grades will continually be replaced as you receive newer grades. And yeah, okay, you might be saying, that's all good, but I'm still having trouble visualizing that. Let's think of it as a conveyor belt and start with the example from before. Okay, here are your first 4 grades and your resulting metrics. Let's add more grades to get up to 30 total. Alright, 30 grades. Now watch this. As your 31st grade comes in, there isn't enough room on the conveyor belt to hold them all. So your oldest grade, which is the first grade you ever received in this case, falls off the conveyor belt and is no longer factored into your metrics. This cycle continues and your metrics will always be based on the last 30 graded jobs you complete for the first year you're a Rever. Let's look at your remaining rolling metrics. These work a bit different to rolling grades. Instead, these are calculated based on a rolling 120-day cycle. On-time percentage is the percentage of projects you submit within the deadline. This is figured by taking the number of projects you've submitted on time divided by the total number of projects you submitted. Commitment ratio is the number of projects you've submitted divided by the number of projects you've unclaimed beyond the unclaimed window. Finally, there is no minimum number of submitted minutes you must have to keep your Rev account open. However, there is a minimum number to reach Rever Plus and remain in it. For transcription, you must maintain at least 800 minutes submitted over the last 120 days. For captioning, this requirement is 1200 minutes. Okay, so we covered a lot, but this should give you a better understanding of how your metrics work. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on this video, ask on the Rev forums, or send an email to support@rev.com.